People keep breaking their legs trying to throw hard kicks. And the question everyone wants to know the answer to is, how do I make sure that doesn't happen to me? How do I stop this from happening? And you hear tons of people try to answer this and be like, oh, well, they only broke their leg because they're on steroids, or they've had pre-existing injuries. And sometimes old heads in the Muay Thai community will be like, oh, well, you're not supposed to throw an inside leg kick because that'll increase the chances that you break your leg. But there have been more leg breaks from people trying to kick the outside thigh than there have been people trying to kick the calves or people trying to kick the inside thigh. But do y'all know the most common way a leg break happens? I'll tell you right now. It happens when someone just tries to throw a kick hard as fuck without setting it up. And the target doesn't even matter. Could be calf or could be thigh. But if you don't set it up, it's probably gonna get checked. Now, we just saw Oliverdi do this where he tried to kick the inside calf, but he didn't set it up well and got his leg snapped in half. And some people would say, well, don't kick the inside calf. Well, Lou just did that to Taiwan Chai and won the fight because of it. So you can't even say that's a bad strike because it allowed him to beat one of the best strikers in the game. But let's get back to answering the question, how do you stop this? The real answer is you can't. That's like saying, how do you stop concussions in the NFL? Well, you can't. You can try to prevent it, but they'll never go away. Now, in Muay Thai or kickboxing, you are literally throwing your bones at other bones hard as fuck. Sometimes they're gonna break. And if you don't set it up properly, your bone might hit something hard like a knee instead of something soft like a thigh. But short story shorter, set your kicks up, please. But speaking of setting things up, most of the sparring that you see online is actually fake. Like, it's not AI, but it's not real. First of all, you gotta understand that sparring isn't fighting. Unless you're a boxer, then it basically is, because they spar hard as fuck. But if you do Muay Thai or kickboxing, most of the sparring is gonna be light or technical. But because it's light and technical, you have a bunch of guys who will use techniques that won't actually work in a real fight, but they'll do it and take advantage of the fact that they're going slow. I like Luke Leslie as a fighter, but you watch his sparring footage and he's doing the coolest shit, bro. All these fakes, these crazy inside, like, just wild stuff. But then you watch him fight and he does none of that shit. Why? Because that shit won't work full speed against someone your own size. But is this the coach's fault? Because a lot of these coaches teach terrible moves, and I would assume they do this just to post it and look cool on social media to get more people in the gym. I mean, I ain't gonna hate on them trying to get some money, but people at home will see these shitty techniques that they post and go try it in sparring, have some success, and then try it in a fight and see this shit not work at all because it's trash. Now, I know you guys might be thinking, well, what makes a technique trash? How do I know if it's actually bad? One of two things make a technique trash. One is that it is super hard to set up. Like, if I have to wait for you to slip on a banana peel for me to do this attack and it to work, it's probably a shitty attack. The second thing is if it has a low success rate every time you do it. If you've watched a lot of fights and you've seen nobody land this ever, it might not be good. You could be innovative though. Try it out in your fight, bro. If it don't work, toss that shit out. Now, what makes a technique good? And this goes for any competitive martial art. Could be boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, any of them. Good technique is one that's easy to set up and hard to defend. That's why you hear the old people say, hit him with the old 1-2, otherwise known as the jab cross. And it's a staple and people continue to use it because it's easy to set up and it's hard to defend. Most of the best fighters in the world have been dropped by a jab cross. Most of your favorite fighter probably dropped someone with a jab cross.